Main Street, where she spent her days lost in the scent of old pages and the soft murmurs of customers seeking stories to escape into. Though she loved her little world of books, a part of her longed for something more, something like the love stories she read about but had never truly felt. One autumn afternoon, as golden leaves danced in the crisp breeze, a stranger walked into the store. He had an easy smile, the kind that made the corners of his eyes crinkle, and a presence that seemed to warm the air around him. His name was Jack, a traveler passing through, looking for nothing in particular yet drawn to the quiet charm of the bookstore. Emily watched as he browsed the shelves, his fingers grazing the spines of books as if searching for a hidden treasure. When he finally approached the counter, he placed a worn copy of Pride and Prejudice in front of her. A classic, she said, her voice softer than she intended. I have a habit of reading old favorites in new places, he replied. Makes them feel different somehow. For reasons she couldn't explain, Emily felt something shift in the space between them. Their conversation stretched beyond book recommendations, flowing effortlessly into stories about their lives, hers rooted in the town, his filled with restless adventures across the country. She found herself laughing at his tales, feeling lighter than she had in years. Days turned into weeks, and Jack kept coming back, not just for books but for Emily. They wandered through the town together, sharing coffee in the chilly mornings and sitting on the bookstore's back porch in the evenings, wrapped in blankets and conversation. She showed him the best hidden spots by the river, and he told her about the cities he had left footprints in. As winter crept in, so did the undeniable truth of their situation. Jack was never one to stay in one place for too long, and Emily had never known a life beyond the town's borders. They both knew that love, no matter how strong, could not erase the paths they had carved for themselves. But love, as they learned, had its own way of rewriting destinies. On the night before he was supposed to leave, Jack found her in the bookstore, the lights dimmed, the air thick with unspoken words. He reached for her hand, his thumb tracing small circles against her skin. I thought leaving was what I wanted, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. But now I'm not so sure. Emily searched his face, her heart pounding with the weight of the moment. She had spent so long believing love was something that only existed between the pages of her books. Yet here it was, standing before her, waiting for her to believe in it. You don't have to go, she said, her fingers tightening around his. Jack smiled, and in that instant, the world outside seemed to pause. Maybe love wasn't about grand gestures or perfectly planned moments. Maybe it was about finding a place where your heart could rest, where the road ended not in loneliness but in the arms of someone willing to stand still with you. And so, as snowflakes began to fall outside the window, Jack made his choice. He stayed, not just for Emily, but for the kind of love that had always been worth slowing down for.